Alright, 7:30 in the fucking morning. Yeah, I woke up seeing some bullshit, so now I'm on this shit. Okay, this is another Naruto one. Yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna do one either, but no one. And this one is gonna be Nature Chakra. And this is something I came up with because of something me and my friends talked about last night. And it was actually pretty funny. But this one, it's just Nature Chakra. Now, if you don't know what Nature Chakra is, no, he's not going to be able to do everything Hashirama did. Hashirama had wood style, which is a combination of water, earth, and wind. I think, I'm not sure. But he doesn't have water, earth, and... He has water, earth, and wind, but use it in a different way other than Hashirama. Because Hashirama used wood style. His is Nature Chakra. So he has yin, or I don't know which one. It's like yin, yang, fucking no. Like, you know what I'm trying to get at. Now, what makes him significantly different is, instead of, like, you know, he's able to make trees like Hashirama, he can make, actually he can do that, but he can also make plants, too. Vines, flowers, he can do all sorts of shit if he wants to. Anything that involves being made in nature, he can do. Now, I'm going to actually put some more into this, but here's what he can't do. He can't just create water. He can't create life as much as, like, I want him to. He can't do that. Well, yet. Well, he can create, you know what I mean. He can create plant life, but he can't, you know. He can't make new species of plants on the fly. I mean, he can make big versions of them, but he can't just create a new species of plant. Like, say this nigga wanted Peony the Piranha from... He can't just Peony the Piranha on the fly. You know what? He can make Peony the Piranha, but he has to do it a certain way. Like, he has to... Cause I don't know what Peony the Piranha is made of. I'm not gonna lie. So he has to do it a certain way. But no, this nigga's not a Mario character. But... yeah, as we all know, the story starts in a leaf. As all stories should. I mean, as all stories mostly do. Yes, he says the Nine-Tails sealed in him. But the Nine-Tails is kind of weirded out that he has an unknown chakra, but it's close to a known chakra. So he's kind of taken aback by that, like, whoa, what is this kid's nature? And by that, I mean, like, you know, his chakra nature, because he's close to Hashirama. That's what Kuruma remembers, or Kurama. I fuck it up sometimes with the U and A. And while he's in Naruto, mind you, still baby Naruto, he senses great chakra in him, and also great life in him, as in, like, nature in him. Weird as it is, he still senses it. Now, if you don't know why he senses it, it's because it's Nature Chakra. It's unknown. So he can't get any help from anyone. The only person who could have helped him is Hashirama, but Hashirama is kind of, you know, sleep in the dirt and it's fucked up as it is, having his body raided by random niggas, thinking, oh, I'm gonna find the secret of fucking life. And yes, I'm lighting a candle right now because I want to, so fuck you. Finally, that third one got lit. Alright. So now that's out the way, time to start the story. Now, if you don't know how this would begin, well, it begins like this. Naruto has always been keen to things flying to him, such as many animals. Though he does have, you know, that nature. And people would think, oh, that's weird as hell. Like, why do animals fly to a demon? And Kurama had nothing to say about it because, you know, he's kind of asleep and Naruto doesn't talk to the man. So, it is what it is to Kurama. That being said, like, throughout his life, it's the same story, pretty much. Bullied, runs, does all sorts of shit. But... that's what I get for waking up and seeing some dumb shit. Now I'm on my shit back again. I don't care if I mostly do Deku. I'm doing Naruto now. I woke up just to see, what if Naruto married Tsunade? They're distant cousins at some point. That is weird. But I'm not gonna talk about it. Tsunade's like 50. Naruto's like, in the picture, like fucking 16. Let's not talk about that. What? What, Sway? How do you possibly can explain Naruto marrying Tsunade? I didn't even watch the video. I don't want to watch it. I don't care how he explains it. How does that even possibly work? Shit like that. I just need something to make fucking sense of why and how would Tsunade fall for a person he's the grandmother to. That's disgusting. It's basically, I'm gonna give you exactly what it's like. Basically, imagine a woman in her late 40s and 50s falling in love with you, and you're like fucking 14. I don't care. This shit is weird. You can't explain that. That is beyond weird and messed up. That doesn't happen. And if she feels it that way, just separate yourself. Oh my fucking gosh, dude. This shit's getting on my nerves. So I'm gonna continue. With that being said, it's the same. He has the same way of life, despite the fact that, like, he's basically like it's how do I explain it? It's like he's more in tune with nature, such as like things around him seem more peaceful, despite him being a demon. Like, he's in class, instead of it being more like anger and geared towards him, being like, and everyone's mad at him, it seems more calm and peaceful in nature. As weird as it seems, but you know. And yes, I'm still thinking about the Tsunade thing. That's why I'm talking like that. It's still bugging me. I'm gonna pause it for now, because yep, I'm back. I'm still on the same bullshit, but different time. I'm not about to start anything. I'm just about to just fucking shut my fucking mouth, and I'll talk about it later. And I'll bring it up later to someone, because that shit is weird. But, you know, we're not gonna talk about that. And I'm not avoiding controversy here. I'm just stating a fact. That shit is beyond fucking weird. So, yeah. His life would start the same. And, like, the only thing that would change, as I stated before I paused, was the fact that people seem to be less on edge around him. As in, they don't want to fuck him up. Because, yeah, they did fuck him up a lot during the... Yeah, that's the only thing. They tended to be more violent, but as soon as, like, they had more violent tendencies towards him, but as soon as they got closer to him, they stopped feeling the violent tendencies. As, like, let's say they started to go away, like, before reaching Naruto. And no, he wasn't, that's not him pulling something, that's not his, basically, it's not him basically pulling a, no the fuck you don't. It's just his natural nature, basically calming people around him. And that's pretty much how it goes. And his academy life, well, I'm gonna say it's still the same way. I'm not gonna change the #1 knucklehead shinobi. Like, he's still gonna act the same fucking way. Now let's think about that. Like, the only thing that would change is that instead of him, like, obviously, instead of him, when it comes to the forest thing, he doesn't learn Shadow Clone. I mean, he does, but he doesn't learn Shadow Clone. He modifies it. Like, because he isn't dumb. It's just, like, he wasn't thinking at the time. So this one will be smarter. Because, you know, Kuruma's basically, like, know what? I don't know what the fuck this kid is. Hey, kid, it's your boy, the demon. Or the fox. I don't care what you call it. He talks to him in his sleep. He was like, hey, it's your boy, the fox, the demon. Yeah, let me talk to you real quick, because there's something you need to know. And he doesn't tell him that, oh yeah, you're having a bad fucking life because your parents died trying to steal me and you, because that'll make Naruto fucking hate him. Plus, he's avoiding unnecessary evil for right now. So he's like, so, yeah, I want to talk to you for a second. So, this nature you got it's similar to a person I used to know way back when. Well, not that I known him personally, it's just, he kind of beat the shit out of me. And I'm talking about the first Hokage. It's close to his nature, but it's different in a sense. Because, unlike him, his nature, you have more, let's say, how do you say this? More life in it. Will have more energy in it. And yeah, and that's what he's explaining to Naruto. Naruto's sitting here taking it, and he's like, oh, okay. So, the first Hokage was wood, am I correct? And the Naruto will say, yeah. So, what's different? And Naruto will say, I'm not sure. We are yet to find out, because we are yet to try the wood style. Or, yet to try anything related to it. And as such, Naito hits him with, you can try after your fucking, whatever your exam is, I've gotten lost in the times. But, yeah, you can try after it, and I can help, but I'll try my best to help. I can't guarantee that I'll be able to help, but I got you. Because that's how a Jinchuriki should be. If you have a tail beast in you, you shouldn't just ignore the shit, be like, oh, fuck you, I'm not talking to you. It's the Jinchuriki and the fucking ninja help each other. Think of Killer Bee. Think of fucking Killer Bee and Killer Bee in the 8 Tails. That girl in the 2 Tails. And let's see, what else? The fucking Tsuchikage in the 3 Tails. And no, not the new one. Gaara and Shukaku, even though they didn't really fuck with each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? It should be a natural thing. Like, for them to just help each other out. Because, mind you, if one person dies, the other one fucking dies. Don't just ignore the problem. You talk to you talk to it. You like, hey, so, all you have to do is the tail beast has to come out and be like, hey, let me talk to you real quick. Because, yeah, stuff needs to happen a certain way, otherwise, we're both messed up. So, here comes the day of the regular exam. Now, here's what throws people through a loop, is because of the fact that, mind you, Naruto has practiced the I don't know if it's clone or substitution. I forget which one it is. I'm not about to go through Naruto to remember the whole damn thing. I'm not about to go through Naruto. I think he was trying to make a clone, if I'm not mistaken, but every time he made one, it was like a dud. So, and no, Kuruma is about to just force feed him chakra, just so he can do it the right way. Kuruma basically, says, hey, while you're doing this, why don't you try using your nature instead of, just trying to summon a regular clone. And Naruto's like, okay, Kuruma. And, because Kuruma's basically like Naruto's father figure / teacher. He's like, alright, so instead of trying to like everyone else does, try it like this. Because I could tell that that way wasn't working. So why don't you try it a different way, and it might yield a different result. And when he does the clone thing, instead of it being like poof, it comes through the floor. A plant comes through the floor, right? And it starts sprouting into a clone. Now, if you don't get what I mean, picture a seed hitting the ground, and you're watching it over time just like slowly grow into something. That's what happens. It takes about 2 minutes, but a clone is made. Now, Iruka is shocked to hell about this, and the whole class is shocked to hell about this. Matter of fact, the whole village is shocked to hell about this, because word travels fast. And mind, they think, oh, he's the next coming of Hashirama, when technically he is, but we're not going to talk about that. What happens is basically, after that, he gets his headband, and he's not seen as the number one fuck up. He's seen as like a weird chakra, like the next Hashirama, and I mean, they put him with the next chakra. I mean, yeah, whatever, like his nickname was. I forget. It's like 7:30 in the morning. So they hit him with that, and everyone's talking about it like, hey, so the demon can like say shit like, okay, so the demon can basically do nature chakra. I mean, like summon plants and shit, like Hashirama used to. And then everyone be like, wasn't not Hashirama's thing fucking trees and wood style? And they're like, yeah. So that means he's different, but almost pretty much the same as Hashirama. And, you know, Word Travels fast to the village, and he's still being hated severely, but it's severely lessened because they have to respect the fact that he's probably the next coming of Hashirama. And that's how they feel about it, like, okay, like, we don't like him, but he probably is the next coming of Hashirama, so we have to respect him at least. And that's the story of how he gets his head man. But now comes the training. Now, he goes into the forest, yes, because he didn't have to steal the scroll and learn Shadow Clone Jutsu. He still learned it, like, trust me, he still learned it. Kuruma didn't let him slack on that. Matter of fact, how long was it before they met? Actually, it was like an episode, I think, episode after they met Kakashi. But this is, like, after the exam. Kuruma has him walk to, like, a forest, and he's basically telling him, like, okay, so all I need you to do is this. Be a druid. Be a druid. Be a druid. He just says, fuck it, be a druid. No, I'm not gonna do Naruto like that. He's not gonna be like a heavy fucking druid. Kuruma hits him with the, okay, so we're out in the middle of nature, how do you feel? And Naruto would say is more at peace, actually. And Kuruma would say, fucking druids, I mean, he would say, that's actually pretty good, then. So how about you try doing this? And he tells him to do, like, the style for like a... what your interpretation in wood style would be for a tree. Or, I don't know how Hashirama's hand signs were. I think they were the same, but... no, all hand signs are the same. It's just you gotta weave it a certain way for it to make a jutsu. So he's weaving hand signs, and instead of, and matter of fact, no, Kuruma hits him with whatever comes natural. Try to do it, and mind you, he's doing hand signs, and when he does it, he ends up sprouting up like plants, kind of like different kinds of plants. And Kuruma's looking at me, looking through Naruto's eyes. He's like, "Huh, actually, that's not bad." You would think about it like. He think about it in a good way, like, plants can be used as good or bad. Like, think about it. If you can poison your enemy with a single plant, like, that's kind of a good thing. You can make your own poisons, you can do all sorts of stuff with it. And Naruto's taking it in, like, oh, okay, I see. And, instead of being like, oh, you fuck up, how can you not make a simple tree, yada, yada, yada. Kuruma was hitting him with a, like, I didn't want, like, if you made a tree, that would have been good, but I can actually see the good coming out of this. Instead of it being like, oh, you fucking suck. You're trash, kid. But because it's hard to explain, but Kuruma's seen the good in everything that Naruto does. Because instead of seeing like, oh, Naruto is like, okay, like, you can't do this, so therefore don't try it. He's like, okay, so you can do this, so why don't you try doing this? And after he tries it, he makes different varieties of plants. And he ends up discovering new species of plants. Think of it like Shino. He's constantly on the hunt to discover something new, and when he does, he writes it down. And that being said, we all know who the ship is going to be for this. So Ino goes walking by. And see Naruto weaving hand signs. And he's able to make different bouquets of flowers and plants and all sorts of shit. Now, mind you, this is this that still like heavily dislikes fucking Naruto, and still like Sasuke, which is fucking weird. But we're not gonna talk about that because every girl in the village wanted Sasuke, for Sasuke being a huge fucking edgelord, which is the weirdest thing ever. So she walked by, and she wouldn't stop by to talk to Naruto, but she'd watch from a distance, like a fucking ninja. But yeah, she watches from a distance, and she she starts to realize that Naruto's making plants, which isn't that hard to realize, but people are kind of on the slow side. But yeah, she realized that Naruto's making plants, and it's not weird at all. It's like she's like figuring that out. She's like, okay, that's something else, but shit still happens. So after all that said and done, he makes different varieties of plants. No, he does not make Pina the Piranha. As much as he will in the future, he hasn't. He has to do as I said, he has to do certain things. The way Pina Piranha will be seen in this world is seen as a summoning. So he'd have to summon something in the ground, which he doesn't know summoning yet. So I guess that's your hit to what he's summoning and what his summon is gonna be. But besides that, I'm gonna cut to the whole Kakashi part, and I'm gonna actually leave it there because, as we all know, Naruto. I said, so, we all know what will happen. Naruto would train, because Kuruma would have him train physically, mentally, and chakra wise. So basically, he's not on his own when he's young. He's more getting used to shit, and Kuruma's is teaching him and training him, do this, eat this, and work out this way, work out that way. We're not being lazy here. He's not hitting them with boot camp type shit, but he's hitting them with the this is our body, and your body is your temple. So therefore, to build up your temple, you have to do these things. And because Kuruma's telling him look, your body is your temple, and you should treat your temple the right way, and you'll get stronger. Naruto ends up growing extra 3-4 inches. So he's not shorter than Sasuke or Sakura, I forget. And he's more athletic and acrobatic and all sorts of shit because he treated his body right. He didn't just eat ramen all the time. He legit, Kuruma told him we need vegetables, we need fruits, we need also meat. You blend that all together the right way and you're eating healthy. So Naruto, over the time period of a week, he would grow taller than he was before, the week before. Because yes, he didn't talk to anyone for a week. He legit stayed in the forest for a week. And then when it was time for me heading to meet Kakashi, we all know what happens. Sasuke and Sakura are there first. Because, Naruto still had to go home, take a shower, get new clothes, then go to school. It goes back to the school area. So, he is about, I'd say, an hour or two late. And I'm going to say as he's walking in, he walks in, and Sakura and Sasuke are giving him the stink eye. Sakura's letting him have it, basically saying, how are you an hour or two late? We were supposed to meet Sensei here about 2 hours ago. And Sasuke's basically looking at him you fucking clown. And Naruto just doesn't react to Sasuke, and he looks at Sakura, he was like, if it's been 2 hours, why isn't Sensei here? And as soon as he says that, Kakashi walks to the door, he was like, alright, I'm here, little shits. What's going on? So yeah, that block doesn't hit, the eraser doesn't hit Kakashi on the head, and Kakashi's like, okay, I fucking hate these kids. He sees Naruto and, everything, he's like, oh, okay, so I got him. And then he looks at Sasuke, he's like, okay, so I guess this is my squad. Okay, time for the bell training. He takes him out to the field, and shit gets to rocking. Now mind you, this is Naruto that is used to fighting, not just fighting on instinct. So, he's a little bit better at combat, I'd say. He's better, he's a better match for Kakashi, but he still is no Kakashi. So, he wouldn't try to fight one-on-one with Kakashi. Kuruma would tell him, hey, that's not the best idea. How would you try formulating a plan with your squad mates? To which they shut his ass down and say, no, we're not doing it. Because it's Naruto. And Naruto's like, okay. And if you don't want to know what Naruto does, because Kuruma even told him, like, you know what? Just because I want to do that, let's go chill out in the forest for a bit. And formulate an actual plan. And as soon as the test begins, basically, sorry if I yawned again. That's my bad, because I remember I woke up like a couple, like, basically the equivalent of an hour ago, I guess. So that's my bad if I keep yawning in the video. Basically, like, when the exam starts, instead of them attacking Hashirama, instead of them attacking Kakashi, like, Naruto drops into the forest and starts weaving hand signs. He drops further into the forest weaving hand signs so no one can see him. And it's just a stalemate for about a half an hour until Sasuke basically says, fuck it, I'll make the first move, and gets dropped. And let's be honest here, he gets dropped. He gets dropped like Deontay Wilder before fucking Tyson Fury's fights. He hit him with the Sylvester Stallone Part 2. Gosh damn. He didn't even hit fucking... He hit... No, matter of fact, the role switched. He hit Sasuke with the 1,000 Years of Death. Now, if you don't know what the 1,000 Years of Death is... I don't know how you don't. It's the legendary ninjutsu everyone knows. I mean, it's the secret leaf finger jutsu that everyone should know. So, yeah. Nothing else will really happen besides Sasuke got dropped. Sakura's like running out, basically doing dumb shit to try to help him, you know? And here's when the fun part comes. All you hear is, and that's all she wrote. Naruto basically does all the woven hand signs, make different styles of plants in different traps around the area, buried below fucking ground, to where Kakashi didn't sense them. And as such, when he clapped his hands together, it all came together. So Vine shot up and tried to grab Kakashi's legs. When that didn't work, Vine shot from the trees and tried to get him, and Kakashi would duck those, but he would get caught by a different plant, like that's growing out of the ground. Like many different shits happen, but Kakashi ended up getting caught by Naruto. And when Naruto like comes out and gets the bells, Kakashi says, "Well, congratulations, you three, you fail." And when they say, "Huh," and Naruto doesn't even react to it, and because he's like, "Okay, I can see why," because Kuroma's basically telling him like, that's his whole fucking gimmick. He wanted you guys to use teamwork. And yeah, he wanted them to use teamwork, and they didn't. And Naruto was like, so we were supposed to use teamwork, weren't we? And Kashi says, yeah, you stupid fucks. But none of you decided to do that. And the only person who tried to was you. And they said no and walked off. And you said, you know what, fuck you guys. And did your own thing. And you did surprisingly well. If anyone was to pass, it would be you. You formulated a strategy. You came up with your own thing when your teammates said no, fuck off. And Kakashi respects Naruto for that. At the same time, he hates them too because he's like, he tried to come with you with a strategy. So what's your excuse for not listening to him? And he caught me by himself. And Sakura would say, well, we never really liked him. And Kakashi said, oh, so a boo fucking who? So you're telling me just because you don't like the guy, you won't, and you're on the team with him, you're not gonna formulate a strategy. So tell you what, you two are in a life or death situation against a random. I mean, you three are in a life or death situation against a random ninja, a very dangerous ninja. Like, consider him on fucking Madara's scale. What would you do? And Sakura's like, well, what? Naruto says, well, I try to formulate a plot and try to escape. Sasuke's like, Sasuke would be like, I do the same. Sakura would be like, well, I listened more to Sasuke, and then and Kakashi was about to Chris Breezy her ass. And I'm talking, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, oh, how do you not know? But he was about to smack fire out of her. He was about to hit her with the, and that was all she wrote. He was about to take the glove off too and hit her with the, he was about to hit her with a backhand too. And he just looked at her and was trying his best not to deck her shit. And he was like, get the fuck out my face. He legit told Sakura to get the fuck out my face. And Sakura left. And Sasuke and Naruto stood there. He was like, okay, Shina's, you two are the brains of this operation. She's a complete and utter fucking mess. I can tell that she doesn't know what to fucking do. She's trying to dick ride you while hating him, but he formulates a strategy and you two agreed on that. He's just like getting stupid. He's getting mad at it because he's like, these hoes these days. And that's almost where the episode ends. But he's basically talking to them too. He's like, and told Sakura to just go the fuck home and get out my face. And no, Sakura's still on the squad, but Kakashi just told her to get the fuck out my face. He was that disappointed in her, where he was just like, get the fuck away from me. So he started talking to Naruto and Sasuke, and they were like, yeah, like, the only reason why, Sasuke said, the only reason why I didn't, because we're used to, and he even, like, acknowledged the fact that, yeah, we're used to the Naruto that doesn't really think before he does things. And we thought his plan would be stupid and we'd fail on it. And Kakashi said, I can see, like, because I had a teammate like that before. He wasn't the brightest of the bunch, but when we came for shit to get done and he strapped his boots up, as much as, like, he was a scaredy cat, like, he still got the job done. When he had to, rest his soul. And he's talking about Obito, not knowing Obito's a fucking lie, but, you know, and we're not gonna talk about that. So, and as such, like, they started talking, and Sasuke is starting to see that Naruto got a lot smarter than the academy days, and Naruto seeing Sasuke like, okay, so he isn't just like edgy guy for a reason. His brother legit slaughtered his clan, and now he wants revenge on his brother. And them three get to talking while Sakura's at home crying her ass to sleep, like, how can Kakashi just kick me out of the fucking kick me off the fucking training ground? I'm part of the team too. But yeah. Oh my gosh, bro. She just fucking pissed me off too now I think about it. She said, I would have listened to Sasuke. Hey, get the fuck up out of here. Stupid people these days. Anyway. So after that, Naruto goes home and Kurama, like, you know, continues spitting game at him, like, you know, I'm glad that it all worked out in the end, because, like, he could tell that if you didn't try, he probably would have failed you three on the spot. And he tells Naruto, that's my bad for not seeing it earlier. And Naruto says, like, oh no, it's all good, because, like, even I didn't see it, and, you know, the person who was said to be the smartest in our class didn't see it. The only thing that made me mad was that girl, that was me trying not to say, you know, but I might end up saying it anyway, because he was acting like it, and I don't care. Yeah, he legit says it, but that bitch didn't, like, she didn't care. She legit said, I would have listened to his strategy and went with his strategy, even if it would have meant her dying, more than likely. And she wouldn't know it. She wouldn't see the finer print, like, he's like, fucking with her. And she'd be like, oh, it's Sasuke, I'll follow him to the end of the earth. And Kurama is basically saying, like, that's true. And I'm actually kind of glad that you didn't get pissed off at that. You took it with a grain of salt and dealt with it like an actual adult. And Naruto's like, yeah, I'm around you all the time. I pretty much learned how to take a chill pill and step back and think about things. Because, yes, if it was a regular Naruto would have been pissed off and walked away, probably. before you talk about this, yes, the ninja world, you did hit women. People didn't care. Look at Rin. Look at fucking Hinata. Look at Kona. Kona legit got choked out over a fucking ocean and then got dropped in it. And you talk about, and the worst thing I said was Chris Breezy. I can do a lot worse. Like, let's be honest here. And that's pretty much the end of the episode with them getting home. Now I'm going off a little rant. I could have done a lot worse with Sakura. I could have legit had Naruto beat the fuck out of her. I couldn't have had Naruto just legit on the spot just start just rocking her. But he didn't. And before you say anything, I'm not a bad person. But here's the thing though. This is the ninja world. And let's put your perspective there. In that world, they do not care if you're male or female. They will beat the fuck out of you either way. And they will kill you just as quick. And if you're trying to bring it up like, oh, that's not right. Was it right for Obito to choke fucking Kona over the water after she tried basically to blow him to hell? No. Either way it goes, them two, it was equal fights for equal terms on equal rights. They legit, that's the closest like they get to equal rights in that world, is trying to fight and kill each other, whether it be male or female. Let's be honest here. Could if a male walked up to a random female and just, you'd be going to prison. A woman walks up to a random male and shit wouldn't happen. And I'm ready to argue with that at any point in time. You can come at me anytime you want. I'm going to argue with it to hell. And I'm going to be right about it. Because you'll never see a case where a woman... You almost never see a case where a woman beats the shit out of a male and goes to jail for it. But a male puts his hands on a woman and shit goes south. Really fucking fast. Whether it be true or not. You say anything about it and it's just, oh, prison. So excuse the fuck out of me if I decide in my video that I want to say that. And if you don't like it, then don't listen to the end of the video. I'm going to give you a timestamp for the next fucking 4 minutes until now. This shit is done. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. Peace.